Bob's Big Boy is a restaurant chain that opened in 1937. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified of my latest videos. Please hit that like button and leave a suggestion or a comment. You might see that in a future video. Thanks for watching, and now back to a regular scheduled program.
Bob's Big Boy makes great hamburgers and lots of good things to eat. It's fun, it's friends, it's laughs, it's time to have yourself a treat. And the place to go is Bob's, you know. You can have lots of fun, 'cause Bob's loves kids and kids love Bob. Just ask anyone. You know, Bob's loves kids and kids love Bob.
In August of 1936, Bob Wian quit his job at the Right Spot and sold his 1933 DeSoto Roadster for $300 to make a down payment on a 10-stool hamburger stand in Glendale called the Pantry. He cleaned the place until it shined like a brand new penny. He borrowed $50 from his father for meat and supplies and reopened as Bob's Pantry. Many of the dishes on Bob's Pantry menu were inspired by dishes from his previous places of employment and restaurants that he frequented, like Whitelog's Pancakes and C.C. Brown's Ice Cream Parlor's Hot Fudge Sundae. The red hamburger relish from Right Spot found its way onto the creation that would catapult Bob's Pantry into the world of burger legend. In February of 1937, members of the Glendale High School Orchestra were having their usual burger meal when one of them asked for something different, something special. As Wian once recalled in 1958, it was that day that he created a sandwich that has been imitated a million times over, the original double-deck hamburger. The original double-deck hamburger had a sesame seed bun that was sliced twice to create a middle piece of bread. If it sounds familiar, it's because it has had hundreds of restaurant imitators, including the most famous one, McDonald's Big Mac. Wian assembled his special double-decker hamburger. Created as a joke for a customer wanting something different, the novel hamburger began drawing business. The snappy name given to the popular sandwich provided a new name for his restaurant, Bob's Big Boy. There was two widely circulated stories about the origins of the name Bob's Big Boy. One involves a chubby 6-year-old named Richard Woodruff who helped out around Bob's Pantry. He was paid in burgers. Short time after the double-deck hamburger's creation, Wian called Woodruff Big Boy, and the name stuck. There was also a rumor that Woodruff was originally nicknamed Fat Boy, but the name couldn't be used because of the Fat Boy's barbecue restaurant, so they chose the next best thing, Big Boy. The original sketch of the iconic Big Boy character with the checkered overalls and burger in hand was drawn by Warner Brothers animation artist Ben Washam. The Big Boy character would become as iconic as the sandwich. The large statues outside of the restaurants would famously be stolen or kidnapped by pranksters. The Big Boy led to a favorite line of merchandising that exists to this day. Wian opened a second drive-in in Burbank in 1938, launching a drive-in curb service at both locations. During World War II, Wian experienced shortages of both meat and manpower, and one of the four Bob's, then in operation, closed. In 1946, Wian formed the Robert C. Wian Enterprises to assume his restaurant business. In the late 1940s, Wian licensed two operators in the East to sell his Big Boy hamburger, Frisch's Big Boy in Cincinnati and Eaton Park Big Boy in Pittsburgh. This serves Wian's goal to procure and maintain a national trademark. In 1951, the third licensee, Alex Schoenbaum of Shoney's Big Boy, sold Wian on a formal franchising system, and with the popularity of the drive-in restaurant, a series of franchising and sub-franchising Big Boy followed in the 1950s. The franchisees were required to sell the Big Boy hamburger and use their own name with Big Boy, not Bob's. By 1951, 8 Bob's Big Boys were in operation. The 18th Bob's opened in 1963, and the chain's 1965 menu featured 23 California restaurants and 6 Arizona restaurants. Wian provided his workers health insurance and profit-sharing plan, which included the option of employees to franchise a Bob's Big Boy. On April 28, 1967, the 23 owned Bob's Big Boy restaurants and the 500 or so franchise restaurants merged with Marriott Hot Shops in, you guessed right, Marriott, the mammoth hotel chain. Back then, they were primarily a food service company that also owned Hot Shops restaurants and 7 hotels at the time of the merger. After the merger, Wian remained as president of Marriott's new Big Boy Restaurants of America division. Used to dealing with franchises and store managers on a personal level, he became overwhelmed with the increasing size of the chain, describing it as "this monster I built." Also unhappy with Marriott's new focus on rapid growth and corporate profits over his approach and practices, Wian became discouraged and resigned as president in May of 1968. As the years passed, Wian generally avoided Bob's Big Boys and refused invitations to special events at the restaurants. He remained close friends with longtime associates at Big Boy. Marriott began rapid expansion using the Bob's name that it now owned. By 1971, there were 49 California Bob's Big Boy, and by 1979, there were 132. Elias Brothers purchased the Big Boy trademark from Marriott in 1987. Marriott, however, kept the Bob's Big Boy name and the 208 Bob's Big Boy restaurants in operation. On December 18, 1989, Marriott announced that it was restructuring and focusing on its hotel brand. All of their Alley's, Bickford's, Bob's Big Boy, Howard Johnson's, Roy Rogers, and Wag's restaurants would be sold. In January of 1991, 104 of the Marriott-owned Bob's Big Boys in California were sold with the plan for them to be converted to either Caro's or Coco's restaurants. The rest of the Bob's Big Boy locations were sold off piecemeal over the next few years. In 2000, Robert Liggett purchased Big Boy Restaurants International from the bankrupt Elias Brothers. Shortly after that, Liggett made a deal with Frisch's Big Boy where he paid $1.2 million for franchise rights in the states of Florida, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Frisch's would have the exclusive Big Boy rights in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, excluding the Cleveland area. When Robert Liggett bought Big Boys from the bankrupt Elias Brothers in 2000, 10 Western Bob's Big Boys were in operation, dropping to 8 by 2006. Now limited to California, Bob's grew to 16 restaurants by 2011, but started to decline again. Although Big Boy Restaurants International expected to open 140 California units by 2018, only 5 Bob's Big Boy restaurants remain, all in the greater Los Angeles area of Southern California. So what are your memories of this iconic restaurant? Leave a comment below. As for me, I've eaten at this restaurant quite a few times. I've gone to the restaurants in Norco, Lake Tahoe, Placencia, and Walnut, California. Of the restaurants I have visited, only the Norco location is still open. In fact, if you're visiting California or live there, there is a location in Norco, California. There you'll still experience the Bob's Big Boy Double Deck and see the iconic statues and can purchase restaurant swag at their gift shop. It has a little bit of a Western flair due to the type of town that it's located in. In 2018, Liggett sold the parent company, which was renamed Big Boy Restaurant Group. The company franchises both Bob's Big Boy and non-branded Big Boy restaurants. Bob Wian started a food manufacturing company the specialty products division to manufacture and sell Bob's Big Boy branded salad dressings, relish, and seasoning salt. This division was purchased along with the restaurant chain by Marriott Corporation, who sold it to entrepreneur Kathy Tagaris in June of 1987. She changed the name to Katie's Kitchen and continued manufacturing products for restaurants and for retail stores. So if you're not living in California and you still want a piece of nostalgia, the product is sold in Target, Costco, Walmart, and supermarkets in 14 western states. The 1-pint glass jars are printed with the mid-1950s Bob's logo and modified Big Boy mascot. In pop culture, if you're a movie buff like me, you may have remembered the iconic Bob's Big Boy rocket in the Austin Powers movies. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you just watched my video, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.